Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 5:30.
A Berea couple accused of starving, beating, and torturing a child for nearly a year appear in court today.
Ambulances in a southern Kentucky county get a revamp. We'll tell you how it could make the difference between life and death.
A provocative billboard is turning heads. We'll tell you why the Ark Park is putting up the billboards.
WKYT News at 5:30 starts now. Good evening. We're tracking new disturbing details in the child abuse case against a central Kentucky couple.
Julio Valadares and Linda Richmond of Berea are accused of repeated mental abuse and torture of his 6-year-old daughter over the course of several months. WKYT's Jordan Valines talked to a man who used to live across the street from the family. He says he's sickened by the new details in this case. It's our top story at 5:30.
The details in this Madison County criminal abuse case are nothing short of disturbing. And this morning in court, the adults who are charged with these heinous acts appeared in court. Julio Valadares and Linda Richmond are now facing 11 counts of criminal abuse after allegedly physically and mentally torturing a 9-year-old girl for nearly a year.
You don't know what goes on behind closed doors either.
During that time frame,
that's the sad part.
Gary Blevins lived across the street from the couple and the little girl.
You know, because nobody didn't know what was going on. If people had known what was going on, you know, they'd have put a stop to it.
He said Linda Richmond was more social than Julio, and he often even ran into her at community gatherings.
I've even went to churches with her, and knowing her, you'd have never thought that. Said it's shocking to the whole neighborhood here. It's even shocking about, you know, her.
The indictment states that the couple systematically engaged in mental and physical abuse by starving the child, spraying rubbing alcohol on the wounds that they had caused her, even forcing her to stand in a cold shower for 20 minutes during regular intervals day and night, a routine they called showers on the hour. The indictment also states that during those showers, they would beat the girl with a leather belt. After court this morning, the couple returned to jail where they have remained since October. In Madison County, Jordan Valines, WKYT.
The couple also faces charges of first-degree assault in this case. A second person has now been charged in a child abuse case out of Clay County. Police arrested 26-year-old Philip Thompson this morning. He's accused of abusing a 4-year-old child. Police arrested 22-year-old Amber Willoughby yesterday. State police say the child was airlifted to Kentucky Children's Hospital Monday morning with serious injuries caused by abuse. Both suspects have been charged with first-degree criminal abuse.
A dreary day across the bluegrass, and tonight some of that rain could turn into some snowflakes.
WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking the chances, and Chris, we're not expecting much.
No, we're not going to see anything on the ground. This is just going to be one of those, as we were talking about yesterday, festive flake makers into much of central and eastern Kentucky. A little earlier in the day, a few folks reported seeing some of those flurries around with the dreary conditions. Speaking of dreary, into the mid and upper 30s as of now. Lexington, Richmond, Frankfort, Jackson, everybody reporting those cold conditions. We've had the low overcast and just the out-and-out cloudy skies. We're going to keep that for the next couple of days. Our flow is coming in from the north and northwest. Now look what is happening. Notice how we're picking up on a little more moisture that is actually showing up on Defender here across the northern Ohio Valley. That'll make its way on into town a little later this evening. Some flurries, touch of drizzle. We're calling it snizzle. You get those two together, you can often get a little bit of both kind of coming down from the skies. A few flakes are set to fly over the next 24 hours. The chill, though, is going to try to hang around for the next several days. It may take us into the start of the weekend. That is when I'm tracking some bigger changes. Yes, I see a little bit of a mild up. I say a little bit of a mild up, guys. We'll talk more about that in greater detail and why it will not last very long coming up.
Prosecutors plan to pursue the death penalty against a pair charged with murdering 3 people in eastern Kentucky. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Martin County. The Commonwealth's attorney filed paperwork today to seek the death penalty in the trial of Jack Smith and Amanda Bowen if they are convicted. Smith and Bowen are charged with the August murder of Tina Goebel, her boyfriend Caney Johnson, and Goebel's granddaughter Trinity Maynard. Investigators say all 3 were shot and stabbed to death. They were found in Goebel's burned-out home. In Shelby County, a man facing several charges after he drove his truck into a home. State police say that Justin Cottrell was speeding on US 60 near Simpsonville. When an officer tried to pull him over, they say he refused to stop, and that's when police say Cottrell drove back to his home on Shoemaker Drive and crashed into his house. Fire crews pulled Cottrell out of the truck and police arrested him. Officers say Cottrell was intoxicated when he was arrested. And in Laurel County, thanks to a $12,000 donation, St. Joseph Hospital in London can now save time whenever someone dials 911. Today, hospital officials presented 12 new computer modems to Ambulance Inc. of Laurel County. The modems attach to EKG monitors that EMS workers use and help transmit data for patients suffering from heart attacks from the EKG to the hospital. And this will allow doctors to get the results before the patient even arrives at the hospital.
Every minute that vessel is closed, more hearts dying. So every minute you save, the more that person's heart you're going to save. So this is going to theoretically save a whole lot of lives every year.
In addition to the gift in Laurel County, Kentucky One Health has donated $44,000 to EMS providers in Nelson, Breckenridge, Montgomery, and Bullitt counties for new modems.
Some new billboards are getting drivers' attention. The creators of the Ark Park in northern Kentucky are using the billboards to defend plans to create a biblically themed amusement park. Sean Moody explains their reason for putting them up.
Billboards like this one are going up all over the region. A spokesperson for the Ark Encounter's parent company, Answers in Genesis, says they're designed to fight misinformation.
Many secularists, people who oppose the Christian message in America, are trying to undermine this Ark Encounter.
The billboards are pretty provocative. They read, quote, "To all of our intolerant liberal friends, thank God you can't sink this ship." The proposed park has been controversial. The state initially approved a tax incentive for Ark Encounter. Answers in Genesis spokesman Mark Loy said that prompted some people to think the state was funding the construction of the park.
The Ark, when it's opened, is successful and brings in a lot of tourism dollars to the state, then it's possible the state will refund some of the sales tax we've collected.
There's also disagreement on potential hiring practices. Kentucky Tourism Secretary Robert Stewart wrote Ark Encounter's attorney expressing concern over a job posting for a CAD technician designing Ark Encounter that required applicants to provide a, quote, salvation testimony and creation belief statement. The attorney replied that the posting is for a job at Answers in Genesis and not Ark Encounter. The tourism secretary said the tax incentive approval could not go forward without a written statement from Ark Encounter saying they would not discriminate with respect to religion when it came to hiring. Loy says park officials are within their rights to give preference to people of their own religion.
Both federal and state law are on our side since this is a religious theme park owned by Answers in Genesis, a religious organization. We can determine our hiring policies as we will.
In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
Ark Encounter officials say they expect to complete the park by 2016.
This is the time of year when many folks are looking for a way to make some extra money, but don't let one kind of job offer cost you. One of our viewers wants to know the answer to this good question tonight. Are there any good stay-at-home jobs on the internet, or are they all scams? How do you know if it is a scam? Few, if any, work-at-home jobs live up to what they promise. Heather Clary of the Better Business Bureau says, watch for these red flags for work-at-home jobs. First, no physical address or contact phone number given for the company or employer. If there's a problem, you can't reach them. Another warning flag, you have to pay a fee to get started. Legitimate employers don't ask you to pay them to work. Third red flag, you can make a lot of money for working a few hours with no experience. Well, if that was true, we'd all be doing it. And finally, offers for you to act as an agent for an overseas business using your bank account. That's a scam. Run the other way. If you have a good question, go to WKYT.com.
Kentucky State Police hope to finish this year with fewer than 600 traffic deaths, but that goal may have to wait another year. We'll have the latest numbers on the Finish Strong campaign.
I'm Bill Bryant. A new study shows a perception that Kentucky is among the most corrupt of the states. A new push for a statewide smoking ban, and a newly powerful Republican is joining in the effort. The bottom line is ahead.
The holidays are a stressful time for many, picking the perfect gift only to have to worry whether or not it got intercepted by a doorstep or porch thief. How to keep your gifts and presents safe, coming up on WKYT News at 6.
A new survey ranks Kentucky as one of the most corrupt states when it comes to politics.
And a statewide smoking ban gets a second wind in Kentucky. WKYT's Bill Bryant has details in the bottom line.
Good evening. There's already been a lot of talk and reaction today to a report that's just come out from Harvard University that calls Kentucky one of the most corrupt of the states. The study is based on several factors, including perceptions of reporters who cover state government. Those surveyed identified political favors in exchange for campaign contributions as a major problem in the Commonwealth. The study found concerns in all branches of state government, legislative, executive, and judicial. You can find a link to that full report at WKYT.com. There's a renewed push for a statewide smoking ban in Kentucky ahead of the legislative session that starts next month. Lexington State Representative Susan Westrom, who's a Democrat, is sponsoring it for the 5th time in the House. And now Republican Senator-elect Julie Rocky Adams of Louisville is taking up the cause in the upper chamber, where she will be the new Health and Welfare Chairman. Governor Steve Beshear has said he will sign a bill banning smoking in indoor public places if it reaches his desk before he leaves office about this time next year. As Republican Ag Commissioner James Comer continues his campaign for governor, his running mate is taking on a powerful post in the state Senate. Senator Chris McDaniel of Northern Kentucky will head up the Senate Appropriations and Revenue Committee. As chairman of that, he will oversee the state's nearly $20 billion spending plan. He replaces independent Bob Leeper of Paducah, who's now been elected McCracken County Judge Executive. On this weekend's Kentucky Newsmakers, a leader of the Kentucky Equine Education Project, known as KEEP, will talk about the group's decision to switch and now oppose casinos at racetracks, which it had pushed for hard for a decade. And we'll talk with a co-founder of a group concerned about the state's retirement system. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
The Finish Strong campaign is not finishing nearly as strong as Kentucky State Police had hoped.
KSP wanted to end 2014 with fewer than 600 traffic deaths. But right now, troopers tell us Kentucky is right at 600. At this time last year, Kentucky was reporting 607 deaths. In all, 2013 had 638 people die on the roads. KSP tells us they hope to end the year at a new record low.